You're listening to Your Purpose and Business podcast, where we connect you to possibilities. I'm your host, Raquel Walters, a two-time best-selling author, millennial speaker, corporate trainer, advocate, and clinical social worker at heart. Your Purpose and Business podcast will connect you with everyday successful people who will share their impactful stories, insights, challenges, failures, and triumphs on how they're navigating the working world, whether by climbing the 9-to-5 corporate ladder or starting, growing, and scaling their business. So grab your pen and notebook because you'll want to implement the nuggets and tools, strategies shared in every episode. Class is in session. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Your Purpose and Business podcast. I'm your host, Raquel Walters, and I'm here with the lovely Jamese Sky. And before I introduce you to Jamese, I want you to read you her bio in her own words. So the person that Jamese Sky is, outside of my profession of being a nurse practitioner, requires a more in-depth discussion. Who I was a drifter. I'm divorced, a single mom who was looking for change. As a nurse practitioner, I already understood that our health is our greatest wealth, but the truth was I was in bondage for the majority of my adult life. I resigned my full-time position September 2019 as I found myself working a job that left me desiring more. I decided to say yes to an opportunity that helped me bridge the gap both professionally, physically, financially, mentally for myself and my daughter, now 8 years old. I meditate, pray unceasingly through gratitude, and I follow a principle-based life. I honestly never should have imagined how one yes would have changed my entire life. I lost 65 pounds, traveled to cities and states that I have never been, even with my daughter. I have been able to connect with people all over the world and birth my on-purpose baby, 1,000 healthy providers, a community of healthcare providers that are focused on self-care in the very sacrificial, care-based, care-centered industry. 1,000 healthy providers prioritizes self-care, healing, wholeness, and wellness for the healthcare professional, as well as explores 5 domains of dimensional freedom. This is my year to become 40 and my year to touch 7 figures by the grace of the Almighty. I give all glory to him. Mrs. Jamese Sky, welcome to the Your Purpose and Business podcast. It's a pleasure to have you on today.
Wow, thank you so very much, Raquel. It is such an honor to be on this podcast, to talk about, things such as purpose and business. You're doing such an amazing things in your area. You're in the healthcare industry yourself, but you're stepping outside of, your profession. You're stepping into, what pulls you. You're stepping into your passion and your purpose, and then providing a platform for others, to share their story and to perhaps do the same, perhaps to birth their, purpose, perhaps to, create their own platform. And so I thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. And your bio is so beautiful, Jamese. But please tell us something that is about you, something that you love to do, or that's not necessarily included in the bio that I just read.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot. Like I said, who is Sky or who is Jamese? When you ask me to send a bio, it's not something that I can, just write on paper. That is, I'm not, I'm not just a few words on paper. And so, but if I had to think about, who I am, I'm becoming. I'm becoming, like, when I created that name, that username, that password or whatever user on Instagram 3 or 4 years ago, I really didn't know what that meant, to be honest. It was, I asked that God order my steps. This is something that I've asked for as long as I can remember, as long as I've been a faith, based individual, order my steps. I remember when I was in middle school. I was in middle school and I had no confidence. I was that fat little chubby girl, dark skin, like Jerry curl, you know, all of that, right? Didn't have a boyfriend. Nobody was like the one boy I liked, Oladapo. I remember him. Okay. He wasn't interested in me. And I remember walking into the auditorium one time. It's a school in Miami. And it was it was a kind of like a little rough school, and hundreds of kids were in the auditorium, and there was a dance happening, or like some sort of big event in the auditorium, and it was a theatrical dance, and they were, you know, the song they chose was Order My Steps. And I can tell you, I was, like I said, I don't know, middle school is what, 8 through, or 5 through 8 or something like that. That's the grades for middle school. I can tell you that audio, putting myself in that environment, changed like so many things for me. From that point, it was something that I indoctrinated. Order my steps, Lord, order my steps. And I believe that he is doing just that. I believe that he is ordering my steps. When I got married, that was the song that plays. When I, you know, just it is, I am a person who is faith-based. I believe in I'm very spiritual. Okay. I believe in God. Okay. I don't have no problem saying I believe in God. I believe in, you know, Jesus Christ. He died for me. And I believe in being a principle-based individual, like living a principle-based life, the laws that govern the world, the universe, like the laws of attraction, you know, the law of reciprocity, the law of giving, you know, just so many things. But I didn't know any of this before a few years ago. Before, like, I tapped in, I just was, you know, I was trusting in God that he is going to take me where I needed to be. And so I named myself, you know, on Instagram, Becoming J Sky. I've been that for the last however long I've been on Instagram. And every day I'm blessed by, you know, his grace and mercy. Every day I get to, you know, tap into my next level, my next thought, my next, you know, blessing. I feel so blessed. So, you know, Jay is blessed. Jay is, you know, a believer in the Most High God. I give him all the honor and the praise for everything that he's doing. I know that nothing happens by happenstance. Okay, nothing happens without his authorization. So therefore, you know, whatever challenges that I come across, I give him honor in those challenges. I give him thanksgiving in those challenges, because I'm grateful in those challenges, because I know it is making it is creating my next level, is making me Becoming J Sky. So
Yes.
I'm a lot, girl. I'm a lot,
Yeah,
child.
and I love when you said becoming, because you know we're all becoming, we're transforming each and every single day, year,
Mhm.
right? And so how does all of this tie into your purpose that you believe you have in this world, Jay?
So it all ties in, like, you know, a perfectly woven, you know, beautifully crafted, you know, quilt, something like, you know, divine, because, you know, because I believe that I'm led by God, that God is ordering my steps, you know, that nothing happens, you know, to me, everything happens for me. You know, I know that when he puts, you know, a thought, or allows me to have a creative moment, or, you know, gives me a challenge, like I said, you know, is just putting me in the path of my purpose, or it's keeping me on path of my purpose, or it's, you know, redirecting me where I need to go. So, you know, I just believe that my Father in heaven, the universal laws are always in play. And, you know, he's allowing me to walk into my purpose, which is to help, you know, 1,000 healthy providers, which is to, you know, have a global impact on not just, you know, it's 1,000 healthy providers, because it's going to be 1,000 providers every single day. Every single day, I will help 1,000 providers become happier, healthier, healed, and whole. Right? I will help the provider learn how to put self-care into healthcare. I'm going to shift the paradigm of the healthcare industry as a whole, as a totality.
Yes.
My
Yes.
concepts, my paradigm is going to be in nursing schools, in nursing colleges, in MD programs, in dentistry. And so, I know that he's the author and the finisher. And so nothing is too great for him. My purpose, it does scare me sometimes. It has scared me. I've like, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to,
Yes.
that's a lot, Lord, but it's going to come to pass. He put it in me. He gave me this baby, and it's going to come to pass because I trust him and I know he's ordering
Yeah.
my steps. So it all ties together for me.
No, absolutely. And it just amazes me how your life, you're still living out that theme song, so to speak, Order My Steps,
I
and
do.
I wanna ask you, if I could, Jay. So you're a registered nurse practitioner and you've been working in healthcare for many years, and you left your job back in 2019 for a bigger purpose, a bigger cause, a bigger calling, if you will, on your life. And so, speak to us, if you may, about what was your thought process during that transition for you. Was it hard? I know you're a business owner. I know you're in the health and wellness space, but I wanted to get more into that transition, because a lot of times, especially now in today's society, and for a lot of people, making that change, especially when it's a change of a job, or a change of a relationship, it could be anything, right? It's sometimes hard for a lot of people to make pivots in their life, and that was a big one for you.
Yes. So yeah, I'll take you back to that time in 2019. It's a time that I remember like yesterday. I remember details about that moment. But what I'll say, just to start off, it was the most peaceful transition of my life. The most peaceful transition of my life, more peaceful than me, getting divorced, me stepping away from my job was the most peaceful transition of my life. And so it was September 14th, um, 2019, when I was able to share my story about me resigning. As a nurse practitioner, I've been in the industry for 17 years now. I have a lot of loans, pursuing my path, my profession as a nurse practitioner. I have a lot of responsibilities. And so I can tell you that I love helping people. I love being a nurse, but I don't think that, God just purposed me to just stay in that domain, stay in that um in that element. I think he purposed me for something bigger, but he also purposed that I go through that I go through being a nurse and having to, work 12 hours, and not even get to really 13 hours and not even get to release your bowels and your bladder. And so because of it, you go 13 hours without urinating, because everybody's needs are so much more important. You don't eat, you don't urinate, and then you end up, when you finally get to urinate, guess what? You're urinating blood. That happened to me, and the profession of nursing is very, very sacrificial, and that was before COVID.
Yes.
And I'm going somewhere with this. I know, you asked me a specific question, but I'm going somewhere with this because, nursing is very, very sacrificial. And I found myself in a position where, I gave my all. I almost died, okay, to serve at the bedside. And it's not any fault of the, the patients or whatever. It's not that. It's just it's just how the industry is, and it's a combination of things. And God needed me to go through that challenge to know, what, Jay, you deserve more. And I'll tell you what happened. I was sad, I was depressed, I was, going through some, tough challenges in my marriage. I actually had already divorced at that time, but leading up to, me, leaving my job, I was a single mom already at that time. I had already divorced, but because I had divorced, I was having to tap into working more. I had to work more. I had to sacrifice more. I was already sacrificing so much. I was already sacrificing so much. And I needed to find something to tie the ends together, right? Because now I'm doing it on my own. And a patient, actually, came and he showed me some well, I saw his results. And so, I asked him about these results, and I was able to find out that he was drinking like this detox tea. And I don't want to get too much into that, but, that one conversation led to another conversation, led to, me losing 65 pounds, led to me, finding out, that, I'm beautiful, like, for me feeling that I'm beautiful, me, investing in myself. It just changed the game for me. When I went through that process of detoxing, I began to know my Heavenly Father in a more intimate way. I could connect with him in a more intimate way. Like, I released so many toxins out of my system. Not only, did it show on the outside, man, I felt it on the inside. And so I had this relationship with my Heavenly Father. And on September, I have been praying about this moment. But on September 9th, 2019, I was driving down the highway trying to get to one of the hospitals, one of the same highway. I don't know if you're from Miami. Well, you're not from Miami, but we have like a busy highway. Okay. And I crossed 5 lanes of traffic to, get to another hospital because the doctor needed me at a different location, like in this instant. And so, I was driving to work, and God downloaded in me. He said, it's time.
Mm-hmm.
I sent in my resignation letter on I-95 with one hand on the wheel and the other hand on send. Wow. And I sent in my resignation letter, and I said, you know what? I feel like I'm undervalued. I'm underpaid. I'm not appreciated. And God got me. So I listened. I was obedient. He told me that, he said, it's time. I sent that resignation letter in. I was at such peace about it. And I went into work, sent the resignation. I continued to serve in excellence, do my job in excellence. And, because actually they told me, I don't like people telling me what I can't do. They told me when I can and can't take vacation. They told me, if my daughter is sick, I'm gonna have to find somebody to cover so I can, tend to my daughter. Like, that don't work for me. I'm a child of the Most High God. Like, you're not gonna talk to me like that, bro.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was a great transition. It was amazing. Just like every transition in my life, I put my trust in the Lord, and He's just made it do what it do. The most beautiful thing, the most beautiful time.
That's amazing, Jamese, because you know what, as you were telling your story, it brought me back to September 2019, because I don't know if I've shared this with you or you know this, but back in September 2019, I watched you on that stage in Manhattan at the Total Life Changes conference there.
Oh, wow.
And lo and behold, we've done collaborated before, and now I get the honor and the opportunity for interviewing you, so you could tell the audience more about your story. So just it just warms my heart, the transformation that I've seen and the growth in you. And I know that you have so much more to give, and so much more to offer the world. And so tell us, Jamese, we know that you're a part of the health and wellness field, and that is a part of your business as well. And so definitely feel free to share more about the business aspect of you helping 1,000 healthy providers through the vehicle that you're using. So go ahead and just tell us more.
Well, 1,000 healthy providers, it came, at a time where I needed it, because I am a provider. And like I said, we're so sacrificial. When I say sacrificial, we give of ourselves so much. We are like, just like every, the nation, some of the most unhealthy individuals, because the healthcare industry, which encompasses, anything that you think about healthcare, The healthcare industry is the largest industry in the entire world. Okay. And so, you know, being as such, you know, it's very demanding. And it came at a time where, you know, like I said, I had already divorced, you know, I had lost this weight. You know, I was connected more spiritually, and I was able to, you know, hear from God, you know, and see things more clearly. And you know, he gave me 1,000 healthy providers. It was called 1,000 providers initially, and then, you know, I changed it to 1,000 healthy providers. But it is tapping into 5 domains of freedom for the provider. Okay. And we're talking about self-care. Okay. Giving your being self, you know, selfish, or giving, you know, we have to start changing the way we think about certain terms. You know, when you think of selfish, you might think of it as a negative thing. Well, I don't think of it as a negative thing anymore. I think that, you know, if I'm not healthy, I shouldn't be going to the hospital and telling this, you know, individual, well, sir, ma'am, you need to be, you know, working out or practicing 30 minutes of exercise. The American Heart Association, you know, that's the guidelines. You need to eat this, that, and the third, and you need to not smoke. I don't smoke, but you need to just, I don't. It doesn't serve me to be like a liar. That didn't make me feel good, because when that patient told me what he was doing, what he had done to change his life, I was nearly 200 pounds. And, you know, I was charting in the chart, you know, what he and I had discussed about, you know, how he could improve his health, but I was so unhealthy. I was, like I said, I was depressed. I was overweight. I was nearly 200 pounds. I was anxious. And so I said, I got to give myself what I need. And so that's where, you know, 1,000 healthy providers were birthed, because I, you know, have connections in the healthcare industry, doctors, nurses, you know, see, whatever, everybody, you know, it doesn't matter if you're, you know, a doctor or a nurse, you know, people in the hospital, they know me. Okay. I had privileges in like 5 hospitals, you know, here in South Florida. And so, you know, I want to help the people who are helping the people, because we don't put the attention where it needs to go. And so I want to serve the providers. I want to serve that, you know, patient care tech. I want to serve that dietitian. I want to serve that physical therapist, that, you know, that doctor. I want to serve them with excellence. And I want to say, hey, doc, you know what? I know you're not, you know, feeling well today. You know, you look so tired. You're not resting. You know, I know you, doc. I want to serve you. And so that's where 1,000 people, sorry, I just saw a comment here. 1,000 healthy providers came from. It is out of a need, you know, to serve the healthcare industry, to serve the people who are serving everybody else. Those, what they call them, first responders, you know, everybody, you know, here, the first hero, the responder heroes and all of this. We've been doing that. We've been doing that. We've been sacrificing our life. That ain't nothing new. And so, you know, somebody needs to respond or be really be an advocate for the healthcare profession. And so that's where 1,000 healthy providers come in. So I help people tap into, you know, financial freedom, you know, I have a spiritual advisor, if you want to call him. He's a minister, a preacher, you know, and so you need somebody to pray for you. You know, I have, you know, him on board, Brother Alvin L. Daniels. I have two counselors, 2 therapists, you know, the financial aspect. Hey, if you need to, you know, tap into some residual income, you know, let's have a conversation. But guess what? You need to be healthy first. You need to take some vitamins. You need to detox. I'm telling you, you need to do it because I needed to do it. And I'm you and you are me. Okay. So I know you and you know me. And so, you know, that's where, you know, I'm able to share some amazing products with them, that, you know, I won't, my products over here. Yeah. As I get to, serve them, I get to make the people feel good. I get to make the providers feel real good. And
Right.
then that's like a trickle, it's like a trickling effect for their families and the community. It's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that you highlighted the dire need for many healthcare workers to start putting ourselves first and being a little bit more selfish, because we're serving. And so oftentimes, you're neglected, you put yourself on the back burner
Right.
because you put your patients first. But you want to flip the script in terms of be there of service with health and wellness products and services to the first responders. So I think that is so important, and I applaud you for that. And by the way, I didn't touch on your weight loss, but kudos to you. 65 pounds, that's amazing. It's very
Yeah.
impressive. And and I know that your story is going to help so many more people that is struggling, and not only with weight loss but with depression, or they're feeling down, they wanting to make a change, they're not sure how. You know what I mean? You spoke about that detox, and
Yeah.
how it also connected you spiritually as well,
Yes.
to God. So it's not about detox for weight loss, it's about just a total change of your life, right? And
Yes.
so Jay, are you working on any projects at the moment that you would love to share with the audience?
Yeah, I'm doing a couple projects. I'm helping my daughter launch her business,
Nice.
her lip gloss line, Cherish Sky collection. I am um a community liaison, community advocate, community concierge, like I don't know, so many different titles for Girl Hold My Hand, which is an amazing, amazing, amazing community
Yeah.
of women. We're growing our men community. It's a global community that is headed by the visionary Coach Stormy Wellington. She's my coach. She's my angel. She's everything. And so I'm able to serve in her community. And so that's happening. We have a lot of things happening in that community. We will be on here for a while. But yeah, Girl Hold My Hand is a blessing. I'm able to and I'm also getting back out there to connect with the healthcare providers, like intimately, because when I did resign, I was no longer in the hospital, and so I was basically having the connections that I had from before. But now I'm actually tapping back into the hospital. I'm on call right now for the hospital.
Yeah.
So I work from home.
Mhm.
I'm blessed to do that as a nurse practitioner. And so, connecting with the physicians with the pandemic, the even more so, the providers need an outlet
Mhm.
to talk to counselors, to feel better, to have vitamins to boost their immune system. They're in the fire, they're exposed, they're stressed, like they need my help. And
Mhm.
I'm honored and blessed to help them. So that is my one of my biggest projects, 1,000 healthy providers. But those things, Cherish Sky collection, Girl Hold My Hand,
Mhm.
um, and 1,000 healthy providers. TLC, of course. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
TLC is for you, it's for me. So those are a couple of big projects that I'm on.
Awesome, awesome. Sounds so great. And lastly, Jay, definitely share with us how the audience can get in contact with you.
Sure. So you can see me on Instagram, Becoming J Sky, as well as my other page, which is 1,000 Healthy Providers. That's 1,000 Healthy Providers on Instagram. Or um, you can email me at 1kproviders at yahoo.com. The website for 1K is 1khp.org is under construction right now. So those two methods are the best methods to reach me: Instagram on my private page and on my um, business page.
Awesome. And in closing, Jay, is there a scripture or mantra that tends to come at the top of your head each morning that keeps you grounded? And if so, could you share with us?
A scripture or mantra. Oof. Well, I tap into a lot of mantras. I tap into like declarations, affirmations. I meditate every morning with my coach, Coach Stormy, that I mentioned, Stormy Nicole Wellington. And so there is a lot that I feed myself, internally every day, like a lot of dialogue. But one thing that, I'll say is be anxious for nothing. That's a word that's, I don't know what scripture it is. But I know he's, in his word, he said, be anxious for nothing. And so to me, that means trust him.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that means believe that I will do what I said I will do. And so, that's my word that, I rely on when, throughout the day, every day. And so, I have a lot of mantras, like when 11:11 comes, I'm saying affirmations to myself, I am so happy and grateful now, cherish, and I will live a long, long life, 90 plus years, each full of love, peace, prosperity, health, wealth, abundance, and gratitude. Cherish, and I shall travel across the world together, sitting on beaches, watching waterfalls, travel across the world near and far. By God's grace and mercy, every day we are protected and have provisions. Every single day we are helping 1,000 providers become happier, healthier, healed, and whole. I say amen. And so that's me. I'm on that. I'm definitely on that time. And so yeah.
I love it. I love it. And so, Miss Jamese, again, thank you for being on the Your Purpose and Business podcast. And, I know you're going to go out there and continue to change the world. And so, guys, with that being said, remember, be good to yourself, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening. If you've loved this episode, let's stay in touch. Head over to RaquelWalters.com and subscribe to my email list so that I can send you updates on new episodes, exclusive motivational nuggets, and insider knowledge that's only shared when you join our community. Please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and leave a review, as I want to know your thoughts about every episode. Follow me on Instagram at Your Purpose and Business Podcast. And remember, your life is beautiful, and this is a part of your journey. So embrace it. Speak to you soon.